With so much of Homefront's advertising campaign centred around the game's narrative and setting, it could have been easy to write off Homefront's multiplayer as merely a small addition to the game, but doing so could mean that you miss out on one of the best online shooters so far this year. Although groundbreaking innovation won't be found in the multiplayer, the game's high production values, action-packed gameplay and solid visuals ensure that Homefront is a worthy addition to the crowded FPS genre. At first it may seem like the content is somewhat lacking, with only 6 maps and 2 game modes on the disc, not including the suburbs map that comes with the Xbox version. So although there might not be a lot of content at first, the maps are large and varied and the game types are fun enough to keep you coming back time after time. The 2 game types in Homefront are your standard team deathmatch and the more interesting ground control. In theory, ground control is very similar to the domination game type found in the Call of Duty franchise. There are 3 points that have to be captured, and whichever team has the most points captured for the longest time wins. But due to the huge scale of the maps, games of ground control feel more like 3 different battles going on in separate areas of one vast map. Another twist to the ground control game type is that after a certain amount of time, the capture points move, and a new part of the map is opened up to be played on. This helps to add some variety and stops long games from becoming stale after time. Another twist to the standard gameplay can be found in the game's unique Battle Commander mode. The Battle Commander mode introduces an AI commander that sets up special missions and places bounties on opponents who are playing particularly well. It can be played on both ground control and team deathmatch, and whilst not drastically altering the game, it still manages to add another dimension to matches. Completing these missions is also one of the most effective ways to earn the game's in-game currency, battle points. These battle points are separate to experience points, as they only last for the duration of the game, and they're used to buy in-game equipment, drones, airstrikes and vehicles. These battle points play a huge part in the game, and the way you use battle points can dictate your entire playstyle, as you can either spend a game saving up your battle points for a pricey yet powerful vehicle, or spend them throughout the game to stay equipped with UAVs and flak jackets to give you the edge in infantry engagements. The core mechanics and controls are very similar to what you'll find in other modern warfare first-person shooters, and although Homefront doesn't reinvent the format, it takes some of the best aspects from games in the genre and does them well. The game is also particularly well balanced, with no particular aspect of the game seeming overpowered. Each gun, drone and vehicle has its own pros and cons, resulting in a rich and varied gameplay experience. However, the game is extremely sniper friendly, and games can regularly have over half the players in the lobby staying back sniping. And while the sniper rifles don't feel particularly overpowered, as they still take 2 body shots to kill someone, or 1 shot to the head, games can become really frustrating for runner gunners who keep getting picked off by people who are just lying prone at the back of the map. Helicopters can sometimes seem slightly imbalanced as well, especially during these early stages of the game's life, as not many of the players understand or have the equipment to take them down. And although the helicopters do cost an appropriately vast amount of battle points to ensure that they're not too common in games, it can still be frustrating to be killed moments after you spawn because there's missiles raining down from above. Graphically, the game is good, but not mind-blowing. Apart from the occasional enemy that blends into a door frame or some form of foliage, everything looks clear and detailed. The game has a good draw distance, allowing for a clear view across the game's vast maps, and particle effects and explosions stand out as being particularly impressive. The sound is also of a high quality, and although it doesn't quite reach the same standard as recent entries in the Battlefield series, Homefront does a good job at identifying what sounds are important to the player to ensure that the audio doesn't become a wall of sound during the game's more intense moments. The game also has the best servers I have seen on a console. During a 32-player game, I had a yellow ping throughout, and I felt like I was playing on a LAN. The game has brilliant hit detection, and apart from several server issues that occurred immediately after the game's release, lag has been completely absent from all of my games. An important factor to take into consideration when buying Homefront for the multiplayer is that you'll most likely want to buy the game new. The game includes a battle code which must be entered when you start up the multiplayer. Without this code you cannot rank up past rank 5, and although you can continue to play on rank 5 or purchase a battle code digitally at a later date, it's worth taking into consideration if you're intending to rent Homefront or pick up a second-hand copy. In conclusion, Homefront might not bring much new to the table, but the game's well-executed features and expert game design ensures that Homefront has earned its right to stand next to the genre's best.